What happens when a Hollywood heavyweight meets a talk show host who forgot the meaning of respect? Tonight, we unraveled the slow-burning chaos that erupted on live television, a moment so raw, so shocking, that it shattered the polished image of late-night TV. This is the story of Mark Wahlberg versus Jimmy Fallon, and how an ordinary promo interview turned into a career-defining confrontation. Asterisk. It all started like any other night at Studio 6B. The lights, the cameras, the buzzing. Crowd ready for laughs and celebrity charm. Jimmy Fallon, beloved for his goofy games and softball interviews, was warming up for what should have been a smooth show. The main guest, Mark Wahlberg, Boston-born, known-sense, Hollywood veteran. Wahlberg was there to promote his new film, an intense action thriller returning him to his gritty roots. Backstage, the vibe was chill. Wahlberg had done this dance before. The handshake, the pre-show chat with producers, the light makeup, the green room banter. He wasn't expecting anything out of the ordinary. And why would he? Fallon and Wahlberg weren't best friends, but there had been a mutual respect. Previous appearances were always cordial, even fun. Mark had agreed to come on after Fallon's team promised a simple, upbeat conversation. Talk about the movie, some jokes, maybe a game. But what Wahlberg didn't know was that something had changed. Fallon was in a different headspace that night, and some say the producers were chasing viral moments, trying to inject a bit of real edge into the show's declining ratings. The show began like clockwork. Fallon's monologue was standard fare, quick one-liners about trending stories, poking fun at the news, the occasional self-deprecating crack. Nothing felt off yet, but for those who watched closely, you could already see it. The host's smile seemed tighter, his delivery a little forced. Then came the moment. Fallon's voice rose in that trademark tone of cheer as he announced, ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight, you know him from The Departed, from Shooter, from so many great films. Give it up for Mark Wahlberg. Mark walked out like a pro. Cool, confident, navy jacket, tight fade haircut, smile firm but friendly. He shook Fallon's hand, sat down, and gave a quick nod to the audience. The energy was light, comfortable. Fallon kicked off with some compliments. The usual, you look fantastic. Man, been hitting the gym even harder. Always. Jimmy, gotta stay sharp. And then the shift, like the first rumble before a storm. Fallon, still smiling, held up the film poster. But instead of launching into the movie pitch, he pivoted. Before we get into that though, there's something that's been trending a lot about you on social media. The crowd went still. Wahlberg's smile faded, not dramatically, but just enough to show he felt it. The curve of his jaw clenched, the posture slightly more upright. Mark Wahlberg, veteran of hundreds of interviews, had just picked up on something the audience hadn't yet clocked. Fallon wasn't. Following the script, what's that? Well, a lot of people are talking about your past. Some things from your younger days in Boston. Do you think maybe with where you are now, it's time to address some of those incidents a bit more directly? Boom. Just like that, the tone of the night shattered. Wahlberg leaned back, hands folded, face suddenly stone. He wasn't caught off guard by the content. He'd answered questions about his past before. What caught him was the betrayal, the how of it all, the broken agreement. Fallon had promised light, fun, movie promo stuff. This was a setup. Jimmy, I've addressed those things. For years, I've spoken about them. I've apologized. I've tried to grow. That's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. Simple, clear, a cue to move on. But Fallon, he didn't take the out. He pressed again. But don't you think with everything happening in society right now, maybe just saying sorry isn't enough? I mean, actions have consequences, right? Now the audience was restless. The band had stopped their subtle riffing. Wahlberg's publicist backstage was already halfway out of her chair. This wasn't what they agreed to. Wahlberg's Boston accent slipped in as he answered tight, clipped. I don't know what kind of show you're running now, Jimmy, but this isn't what we talked about. And that was the first crack. The mask slipped, not just for Wahlberg, but for Fallon too, because what he sounded next didn't sound like the charming host America loved. Asterisk, I'm just asking. The questions people want to hear, Mark. Isn't that what journalism's about? And there it was. Mark Wahlberg, actor, producer, businessman, stared back at him, eyes cold. Asterisk, journalism. Jimmy, this is The Tonight Show. Since when are you a journalist? Asterisk, you could feel it now. In the room, on the stage. This wasn't banter anymore. This was real. Asterisk, Wahlberg's voice didn't rise, but the steel in it could cut glass. He didn't explode. He controlled it, which somehow made it more chilling. Asterisk, you do games with celebrities. You read tweets. This isn't journalism. It's entertainment. And I came here to promote my film, not get ambushed on national television. Asterisk, Fallon didn't flinch, but his smile faltered. And what he said next would be a point of no return. Asterisk, maybe you're just not used to being challenged anymore. Maybe the problem is that everyone in Hollywood kisses your feet and no one holds you accountable. Asterisk there, it was the insult, the spark to ignite the fire. Asterisk, Wahlberg's hands tightened on the armrest. His eyes narrowed, not in fear, in disbelief. Disappointment. Asterisk, you want to talk about accountability? Fine. Let's start with your accountability. You told my team this was a promotional interview. You told me you wanted to have fun. That was the deal. Asterisk, the room was silent. No laughter, no clapping, just tension. Thick and choking. Asterisk, Wahlberg had drawn a line, and Fallon, for reasons still unclear to this day, decided to cross it. Asterisk, the conversation escalated. Fallon pressed, Wahlberg pushed back harder. The audience felt the tension rising, caught in a live drama nobody expected. Asterisk, Fallon, smug and aggressive, said, Mark, you're getting defensive. Maybe you're not used to being challenged anymore. Asterisk. Wahlberg snapped back coldly, since when is this show about journalism? It's entertainment. I came to promote my movie, not get ambushed. Asterisk, Fallon doubled down, mocking everyone in Hollywood kisses your feet. Asterisk, the insult landed hard. Wahlberg's frustration boiled over, his Boston accent sharp with anger. Asterisk, you promised my team a light interview? This is betrayal. Asterisk, the exchange became a test of wills, no one backing down. The audience silent in stunned disbelief. Asterisk, Fallon tried to brand Wahlberg as thin-skinned. Wahlberg shot back with a scorching retort on professionalism and respect. Asterisk, the show's band stopped playing. The crew held their breath. The cameras rolled on every raw moment. Asterisk, Fallon, desperate to regain control, tried to mock toughness. Asterisk, Wahlberg, visibly hurt but composed, delivered a heartfelt defense of what toughness really means: hard work, accountability, and dignity. Asterisk, the power shifted. Wahlberg looked like the wronged veteran. Fallon looked exposed, out of his depth. Asterisk, Fallon said, it's just television. Things get heated. Asterisk, Wahlberg laughed bitterly. Just television. You ambushed me and lied to my team. This is my career, my reputation. Fallon made a last-ditch attempt to reset the interview. Wahlberg refused, his voice icy. You spent 15 minutes trying to humiliate me. Now you want to start over. No. The studio was frozen, watching history unfold live. Fallon pleaded, I wanted a real conversation. Everyone's fake on these shows. Asterisk, Wahlberg shot back, real conversation. You lied to my team, ambushed me, and weaponized my past. Asterisk, the emotion in Wahlberg's voice was raw, hurt, anger, betrayal. Fallon offered a hollow apology. Wahlberg responded, You're sorry, I'm not taking it. You're sorry, your plan failed. The tension was unbearable. Fallon begged, Let's just finish the interview. Asterisk, Wahlberg's voice was calm, but firm. This is about integrity, respect, and keeping your word. You failed, and then it happened. Mark Wahlberg stood up, the audience holding their breath. Asterisk, Fallon called after him, desperate. Don't leave. Let's talk about your movie. Wahlberg turned, looked Fallon in the eyes, and said, You know what the really sad part? I used to respect you. I thought you were one of the good guys. I guess I was wrong. And with that, Wahlberg walked off the stage. The cameras lingered on Fallon's defeated face. Asterisk then, Mercifully, the show cut to commercial. What you just witnessed was not just an interview. It was a raw, unfiltered confrontation that exposed the cracks beneath the surface of Hollywood's glitz and late-night TV's gloss.